Action.
Hey, first of all, welcome to the Autonomous Systems Laboratory. It's really exciting to have you join the team. My name is Ahmed El-Samdisi. I'm a senior in mechanical engineering, and my job here is to make the move-in from whatever you've done before to the Autonomous Systems Laboratory as smooth and clean as possible. So these are a couple of short videos that you're going to be watching. The first one is we'll go over the space, go over the segues, go over the technology we have in the lab, and go over C# and the development environment that we use, and even go in more details to actually creating your first project and getting started with the robot in different environments. Okay, so let's get started. So what you just saw was the Vicon system. The Vicon is a $500,000 system that allows us to get millimeter accuracy detection. Vicon are infrared cameras that can detect infrared reflective tape and reflective balls. Be careful, these things are easily lost and you don't want to lose them because they are expensive. Now, the Vicon field, as you can see here, has a lot of things. The first thing is that since we share the lab with Hadass Kurtzisi and Mark Campbell, this space is often used by different people, so be considerate of who's using space. To manage the time and the space is being used, we have a calendar right there where you can sign up with your name and sign up with the color tape if you're using the floor. As you can see here, we have different groups using different layouts, and that helps for different projects. The Vicon field is a development environment that we use. So one of our biggest assets are the ability to change the world around us, to test different situations, different scenarios for the robots. We have these walls around here that can also have reflective tape and are detected by Vicon, and they can be maneuvered in space so you can create the structure you want. On the wall, you see error tags. Error tags are unique IDs that can be tracked by the robot so you can understand what wall is doing what. Okay? Let's continue forward. What you just saw there were the electronic boxes that we have inside the lab. These boxes hold a lot of the electrical components that are used inside the lab. They range from resistors, transistors, capacitors, microcontrollers, shields, and a lot more. So if you're looking for any specific device, you can find it here, and these are all characterized by the type. So resistors, all different kinds of resistors are on the left. You see capacitors, more high-tech equipment like relays and XPs and antennas can be found over here. If you ever need something, look here first before you start asking people for help. Now we're at the power bench. The power bench holds the batteries and the controllers of all electronics. These are the Segway batteries. Segway batteries are computer batteries that give you about 45 minutes per battery, and you can put 2 batteries on the robot at the same time. You can check the power by turning it on, pressing the power button, and it'll give you an LED light indicator of how charged it is. And when you're done with it, you take it, you charge it. If you're going to actually use the battery, you have to use the battery log, where you can fill in your name, time, in and out, and give a note. If something goes wrong with the battery, if it ends unexpectedly, please put the note here so we can know for the future, because we do like to track our battery usage. These are the charging station. Chargers get plugged in once you're done in the charge section, and make sure you see it charging before you leave. Second station here is for the Segway batteries. The batteries you saw earlier power the computer. These batteries power the actual Segway wheels. These batteries last a lot longer, and we'll show you in the future how to change them. Okay, this is the battery charging station. When you're done with the Segway battery and it died, which you will know because it'll start beeping, so you will come back here and change the battery. Make sure you plug it in and make sure the light turns off before you take it. If it's green, it means it's charging. If it's red, it means it's done charging. And if it's off, that means it's currently working on charging. Okay? Over here, we have our Segway controllers. We can control the robot by Segway Logitech controllers. Each Logitech controller is unique for the Segway because they have unique dongles that are on each Segway. Make sure you check that this dongle says black Segway for the Segway you're using, and make sure that the same dongle is in the robot. Once you're done with the controller, please bring it back and place it in here. If you notice the battery's out or some issue like that, please change it. Here are the Segway power cords. These are connectors that allow you to go connect the Segway power box to the batteries we saw earlier. Make sure once you're done with them, put them back into their starter box. And here's Segway power cords. If you ever do anything on the Segway and it's not moving, please use the power cords and plug it into a wall. This is very, very important to maintain the power because you don't want the Segway to turn off randomly. Thank you. Hello. Now we're on the computers. There's different kinds of computers in the lab. We have our Vicon computer, the multimedia computer, and the personal computers. Right. So the first thing you need to understand is the Vicon computer. We use a program called Nexus, which is you can see right here. Nexus allows us to interact with the Vicon system. Nexus reads the Vicon system, figures out the pose of the given Vicon model, which will be explained later, and it'll broadcast it. And the computers on the robots can receive this broadcast and figure out where the robot is. I will go over the Vicon system in a little bit more details in future videos, and you can also read about it on the wiki. The next computer we have here is our multimedia machine. This computer is a lot stronger than most of the computers and has most of the software that we will be using. If you're a mechanical engineer and you want to access SOLIDWORKS in the lab, this computer has SOLIDWORKS. If you're doing any video editing or something like that, or Adobe Photoshop, it has all these programs for you to create nice videos and do your work if you need a multimedia machine. Last are the computers that you have everyone's using right now, as you can see. Each lab member has their own personal account that allows us to connect to the server. When you join the lab, we'll create an account for you that will be connected with all your hard drive online. Whenever you connect using one of the lab computers, it will pull your hard drive from the internet and save it locally on the hard drive, which means you can expect the first time you log into a new computer to take a while, and that is very expected and normal, so don't freak out. On these lab computers, you can do most of your development, do your work, your remote desktop into the computers of Segways, and it gives you a good place for you to be part of the lab and do your work. This is the electrical bench. This is a great place for you to do all your electrical components, build your circuits, and do some testings. For test, we have an oscilloscope, a power supply, and a function generator. We also have, for the detailed work, you have a soldering iron, soldering wick, all the wires you can want, and more electrical components. So feel free to do any electrical work on this bench. It's preferred to do it here than on the other desks, just because that's where people work. This is the lab's toolkit. This is where we keep all our tools that range from your pens, your batteries, your drill bits, and everything the lab has. If you're ever looking for something that's not electronic, you want to come here and try to find it. This lab also holds all the Vicon equipment, which is in the Vicon box, which is right here, and a lot of the major power tools, our Velcro, and connectors. Okay, so this is where you find these items. Keep in mind that all these drawers are labeled, and if you take something out, please put it back. If you need something for the camera, put it back in camera equipment, and make sure that everything's clean and organized. Thank you. So now we're in the closet. This is where we keep most of our equipment that we're not using every single day. So the first thing is the first cabinet. The cabinet, I'll be taking things out, showing what it has. It has extra Segway batteries, in case you need them. Keep in mind that there's different batteries for the old Segway and for the new Segway. They're heavy. We have more computer batteries in packets, so if you need an extra computer battery, you can grab one here to go. And we'll have all the other equipment in the lab, such as extra monitors, old quad rotors, in case you're doing quad rotors, and the Vicon helmet, which allows us to track people in the Vicon field. We also have all the wires. If you're looking for a wire, you'll find it here. Connects and our cameras, DSLR cameras and extra cameras. We also have this cabinet right here, which we'll show you a little bit later, and it holds a lot of the more expensive equipment, such as your iPad, your computers, and all sorts of things like that. So now we're in the closet of the lab. One of the great advantages of working in a robotic lab is the technology we have. We have a lot of technology that we've acquired over the years, and here they are. So we have things that range from simple Kinect sensors. In case you want to do any project in 3-dimensionals indoors, you can get a Kinect sensor. We have multiple of them, and they can be mounted on the Segways. We have iPads, iPod touches, in case you want to do anything with handheld devices. We have an Android if you want to do Android development that communicates with the robots. We have iPads, which are much larger, can be used to remote desktop if you're working outside, you want something light and easy. We have more portable GPS devices if you want to do small time tracking. We have Hikoi sensors, which we'll see a bit on the robot, which is a rangefinder. And we have cameras that are very high resolution and very expensive. Quad rotors, which you saw earlier. We also keep here our computer, which are Lenovo ThinkPad tablets. They're great for work, they are touchscreen and can let you write on them, so if you're doing any work outside, you want to debug, grab a computer, make sure it's charged and use it. It's a lot better than using your own computer. They're very, very powerful. We have more batteries here, so if batteries run out and you have no more on the shelves, you can come over here and get some. We also have other technology that we've used over the past couple of years. For example, these are three-dimensional virtual goggles. These are before the Google Glass came out. This was what people used. And all this technology you can kind of read around and play around with, and they allow you to provide you a lot more resources for more lab work and more creative ideas and more creative projects. So if you ever need something like anything you saw in the video, ask permission first, grab the key. The key is usually in the pen drawer in the tool cabinet, and come over here and grab what you need and work on it. Please make sure, these are other virtual goggles, please make sure once you're done with whatever you're working on, you close the closet, lock it, and leave the key back in the pen drawer so for next people to use it. Thank you. Down from the hall from our original laboratory, which is at 155 Rhodes, at 188 Rhodes we have another lab, which is smaller and made for mechanical work. Come inside. So this is where we do a lot of the manufacturing and testing of the robots and a lot of the hardware, physical robots design. So we also store a lot of our old robots here, which you can see by the different frames, and we keep a lot of the small equipment that is left over from all the manufacturing and more equipment here. We also have a small bench where you can do more of the delicate work, like Art right now, working with his 3D piece, or working on your old an enclosure for the robot. So if you're a mechanical engineer and you're doing some design work, you want to do it in here and clean up afterwards so we don't make the place a mess. It's a lot better than doing it inside the other room because that's where people are usually coding. So come over here and do your mechanical work.